Hearing that Greg McDaniel is ready to speak, so let's listen in to his news conference again. He is the city manager of Maryville.
Officials in the city of Maryville, Missouri, support the decision of Nottoway County Prosecutor Robert Rice to seek assistance of a special prosecutor to review evidence in the Coleman sexual assault case. The case fell under county jurisdiction, sheriff and prosecutor since it came to light in January of 2012. However, in recent weeks, the city has received a great deal of negative attention related to the fact that the charges were dropped in the case. Every day that goes by without further judicial action or explanation is detrimental to the lives and livelihoods of the citizens of Maryville. This was an unfortunate incident that cast a shadow over our community. With an independent review of the facts, we can hopefully find some resolution to the case that will allow for the healing of all parties involved. On Monday evening, the mother of one of the alleged victims expressed her desire publicly on CNN to have the case reopened and stated the intent to cooperate with investigators. The city asked for the community's and its critics' cooperation as the judicial system moves forward with the case. In light of the recent threats made towards the city, public safety patrols have been increased and will remain in place until deemed not necessary. We'll take a few questions.
What kind of threats have you been getting?
We have actually been stunned by the amount of cyber threats and emails and social media posts directed at the community in general.
What would you want people to know about your community out there if you could put out a counterpoint of how you would want people to see Maryville?
We have a safe community, and we want to ensure that our citizens are protected and that the judicial system, as the process goes through.
What are some of the specific measures you're going to take for, let's say, a possible protest next week?
Public safety has been on alert and is aware of all threats that may have been against the community. We will increase patrols and, again, do everything in our power to protect our citizens.
Anonymous had said they wanted this case to be reopened. Is it your hope now that they'll kind of let this go now that it's possibly going to be reopened, or are you still on high alert?
We will remain on high alert. The community does have to continue moving forward. As a local government, we do have to continue to provide government services to our citizens.
How do you respond to the comments made online about the community being partially to blame for the way the victims were treated?
I'm not going to answer that.
I think in the statement that you sent out earlier, you kind of strove to make a division between what's happening at the city government level and what's happening with investigators and the sheriff's office. Why did you want to draw such a sharp distinction between the two? Were you trying to distance yourself from anything that the investigation has done or the prosecution has done so far? It
has been a misconception that the city of Maryville and Maryville Public Safety, for many around the world, were involved in the investigation. The city of Maryville was not involved in any way whatsoever from the beginning of the investigation until today.
What kind of measures are you going to do, take what maybe your schools here or anything to kind of prevent anything like this happening again? Or
We're going to ensure that we work together as a community, engage our civic leaders and our church leaders in the community to ensure that we protect all young people in the community. We must remember that young people's lives were changed forever and that we must work to strive to increase awareness throughout the community.
The city, as has been said here, obviously has absolutely zero to do with this case. It's a county situation. Have people in their threats to you established some kind of link that they think exists between the city and county law enforcement?
I think it's a common misconception that the Maryville Public Safety was involved in the investigation. Again, as a city of Maryville, as an organization, we often represent the community, and there has been a lot of threats and negativity on the community in general, not just those related in the incident. And that is all at this time. Thank you.
Thank you.
All right, as they wrap up that press conference there, again, that was the Maryville City Manager, Greg McDaniel, speaking, taking some questions from reporters and saying at the beginning of that, if you're just joining us now, at the beginning of that press conference, that he supports County Prosecuting Attorney Bob Rice's decision to seek advice on this case. We'll continue to follow this news story for you. We're all getting this just as it develops and breaks for us right now.